Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. It's Noelle,
It's Valeria.
and today we're going to be comparing Egypt and Thailand.
So, something I really do and have wanted to know are the current and past names of Egypt.
Well, it's actually an interesting story. Egypt has had many past names, but one of the most interesting ones is Kemet. Ancient Egyptians would call Egypt Kemet because the land there was so rich in soil. They just decided, you know what, that should be the name, and it means black land.
Wow, for Thailand, actually, we've only ever had one former name, which was Siam, and that actually changed in 1939. And other than that, we've only had our current name, which is Thailand.
Wow.
But also, has your country ever fully gained independence, and when?
Yeah, Egypt gained their formal independence from the British Empire through Unilateral Declaration of Egyptian Independence, and that was on February 28th, 1922. However, full and actual independence from British occupations was achieved decades later, following the July 23rd Revolution of 1952. What about Thailand?
So, actually, something that's very different between our countries are that Thailand was never actually fully colonized by a European power. It actually stayed independent while countries around it were colonized by Britain and France.
How did your country deal with maintaining that independence, though?
So, they actually were able to maintain independence through proactive modernization, strategic territorial concessions to European powers, and also acting as a neutral buffer between states like British and the French colonial territories in the southeast of Asia.
Hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I think Egypt maintained their independence through, from the British Empire and through a combination of grassroots resistance, political diplomacy, and even a decisive military revolution.
Oh wow, so I can see that you've had a lot more to go through to be able to maintain an independence. Kind of talking about how the fact that Thailand has always never Thailand has never really actually been colonized, so they've always stayed independent. So that's different. But what about some of the challenges we had?
I would say one of the challenges we had was just kind of with the economy in Egypt. It was really hard for us to stay, unified as one, just because, like, the economy was doing really bad. People were out of jobs, and it was all just really, unstable. So it was hard for us to prove that independence that we can be alone, as a country, because everything was just kind of going downhill for the people.
Yeah, for Thailand actually, we've had a lot of more, shall I say, government issues. We had a lot of political instability and military coups. Since the 1930s, Thailand has actually experienced many military coups and changes in the government. The military has taken control multiple times, which caused protests, conflict between political groups, and also instability in the country. These constant government issues have sometimes slowed down the democracy and made it difficult for the country to stay politically stable.
Hmm.
How about for you guys? Have you guys ever had any economic inequality?
Yeah, I honestly think it just goes back into with the jobs. Because everybody was out of work, it was really hard to, get people to stay from one place to another. So I think it really made everybody doubt how well Egypt could be independent from another country, or, rely on others, because, slave labor was just really like a really tough thing on Egypt.
For Thailand, actually, something that's actually different between us is that we've had very strong economic growth, especially through tourism and business in cities like Bangkok and but other than that, not everyone has benefits equally. Many rural areas are still poorer than cities, and some people actually have less access to good education, healthcare, and job opportunities for the country. So, actually, we're pretty equal.
Oh, wow.
For Egypt, actually, what were some of the biggest successes you guys have had?
I would say following, our revolution in 1952, and at the end of our occupation from the British, the nation secured major socio-economic and geopolitical milestones, including land reforms, the nationalization of the Suez Canal, and free public education, and the signing of the Camp David Accords. What about you? What would you say are some of Thailand's biggest successes?
We've had a lot of economic development and also just becoming a regional hub for trade and tourism. Preservation of cultural heritage and monarchy is also one of our biggest successes.
Wow.
Egypt, have you guys had a lot of like main aspects that have impacted your country?
Yeah, definitely. I think I would say, a really big aspect that has played a really big part in our independence um, would be, the fact that um, we have had really big land reforms. Um, the land reforms just help go into social reforms and help with the modernization, especially with, women's rights. Before that, women's rights was just not a really big thing in Egypt. So I would say, the 1956 Constitution really helped women to succeed and really helped us just flourish, and it gave them the right to vote and run for office. So, yeah.
Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. We finally have something alike.
What would you say are two main aspects that have affected Thailand?
Something that has impacted Thailand is actually we have gained a lot of access to trade routes and boosted, and that helped boost our economy a lot because trades really do help the government and just the evolution of how we were able to grow as a country. Something else was actually the political decisions helped be able to really modernize our country, and it also prevented a lot of colonization, which helped us a lot.
Wow, I guess, Egypt and Thailand are more alike than I thought.
Yeah, but that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.